with a knife round, Joe.
I've got to be honest, instead of ifs and buts, I thought you said it's sniffs and buts then, and I was thinking of a whole different conversation, but the knife round has just about ended at this point. nerdRage going to be able to take that one away, so they're going to be able to pick their side here on Cash. And, you know, typically I would ask you kind of how the knife is going to affect this map, but I feel like we've talked about Cash to death at this point. Every single team seems to want to play on Cash here in the UK scene, and our observer wishing these players good luck. Shout out to our observer. It is in fact Herald CSGO on Twitter, so give him a follow if you're enjoying the broadcast. But
definitely don't.
Yeah,
definitely don't do that. It's never going to end well. It's looking in false hope, Joe. All right, come on.
Hey man, I'm just a nice guy. What can I say?
Nice guy.
Nice guy.
But
oh,
all right.
You go.
No, it's fine. Honestly, don't even worry about it. See how it is. I remember that.
But here we go. ORGLess versus nerdRage. Now, I mean, we talked about the rosters a little bit. Can I ask you for a prediction, Jack? How do you think this series is going to go across the 3 maps?
The thing is, like, in the back of my mind, I'm kind of hoping it'll actually be a little bit closer. Obviously, just on the fact that nerdRage were able to take out Fish. So there is a potential there. But I got to go what I'm feeling right now, and I reckon this is going to be a 2-0 in favour of ORGLess, just off the back of the map pool, and also just when you look at it. I still reckon there's possibilities for this to be an early close game. Overpass, I'm thinking in the region of a 16-8 towards ORGLess. Cash, probably somewhere in a 16-10, 16-9 scoreline towards ORGLess as well.
Fair play. Well, we'll have to see if that is going to be the case. I mean, specifically Overpass, I feel like ORGLess are going to have a huge advantage on that one, just with it being a map that we don't usually see that much. Maybe some of the players on nerdRage won't really be expecting to be going up into that map. And interesting to see kind of the fact that that's actually filtered its way through this pick and ban phase. But maybe nerdRage have got something up their sleeves as well. We'll have to find out. But we're into our first game here on Cash. It's going to be the pistol here as nerdRage, they're on that terrorist side running with those Glocks. Nobody upgrading their pistol. Everybody just going with armor and utility. Then over on the other side, just straight up armor for these CTs.
Early on, Smooya here, trying to find a frag towards mid, will go overly aggressive, but can't quite get anything just yet, is forced to fall back. I think he was actually trying to go for the strategy where you boost up, go all the way around, try and flank in from main early, but didn't quite get the jump off.
Well, I cannot confirm nor deny whether that was what he was going for, but it certainly didn't happen in the end. But look at this stack over towards A. I'll say stack, it is in fact the terrorist, so I suppose push is probably the word I'm looking for, but Liam S going to be the one to make things happen as he kicks the door down and kicks the head off a Smooya, no less. Nice little play with the Glock, and that is going to mean that this A site well and truly belongs to nerdRage right now. ORGLess still with 4 players though, so they can definitely make a retake happen.
Cynic popping out here, trying to find some frags with his Glock as he just spams away. Robin Nasty will take down Samuel. Liam S fires back as he eliminates Thomas. Cynic as well will remove Prophet Mohammed. And Robin Nasty is going to go down as well. YNC for the final frag there on towards Caspian, but unfortunately HVM was able to fire back, and nerdRage, they pick it up fairly dominantly on that first pistol round.
Yeah, fantastic stuff there from nerdRage, and just that entrance right there as they go straight on in. Liam S, the point man, takes the head clean off a Smooya, and just, I feel like beyond that, they'd already got the site on a lockdown, and all they had to do was trade efficiently, and they were going to be able to take that round. So really good job by them to start this game off right. And now it's going to be down to ORGLess whether they can actually kind of ruin the day of nerdRage and make these Desert Eagles work here. 4 Desert Eagles from ORGLess in the second round of the game. They're up against Rifles and a MAC-10. And UMP as well to boot. We'll see if their hand cannons are going to be enough to actually make this happen.
So stuff on the board right now. You can see Smooya as well. It's kind of been roaming quite a lot towards mid early. Unfortunately gets caught off guard there. Wasn't able to achieve too much. As Cynic just hammers into him with like a little good mid control coming out from nerdRage here as they just take whatever they want. Robin Nasty, Deagle play comes out, 2 sick frags as he lands these headshots once a fur, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. Liam S will best him with that UMP, but that was looking juicy.
Yeah, gorgeous little bit of play coming out from him. And that is going to be a nice way to even up the round as well. 2 versus 2 now. Thomas and YNC, both of them with the Desert Eagles. But the bomb is down, and this Galil in the hands of Samuel could be devastating to them. But actually, they've managed to finish things off. The UMP coming on through is going to open things up, and then the Desert Eagle kill to finish things off. That is going to be a round for ORGLess.
Yeah, the spotlight was on ORGLess into that round. Definitely on Robin Nasty. Fantastic way to light it up.
Yeah, it certainly is. I'm getting hints here from my co-caster. I'm actually in charge of the studio lights today, so I can turn them off. We're not going to just melt to death during these games, and I completely forgot that time. But, to be fair, I'm not actually as warm as I was yesterday.
You know,
I'm
melting to death.
All right.
I feel like I'm in the Sahara Desert.
Well, they're off now, so it's not moaning.
All right.
But here we go, ORGLess and nerdRage. 1 apiece here on cash. And it's ORGLess with the advantage here. A couple of Galils and a couple of other weapons as well. Up against these Tech 9s in the hands of the nerdRage players. We'll see if there's anything that they can do to stop this push. And I would expect the case to be so, because those upgraded weapons are certainly going to be able to do the handiwork. Caspian, the last man remaining with just his Glock, a bomb, and a dream. But I don't think it's really going to be enough to make things happen here. Does actually find 1 kill for himself. He's looking for Smooya. Can't actually turn it into a second, though. And Robin Nasty finishes off the round in the end. ORGLess lead 2-1 now.
So ORGLess, after that bounce back with Robin Nasty doing an awful lot of damage, they're still keeping up this high-octane gameplay. They find these frags. Meanwhile, nerdRage, left in this horrific situation in terms of their economy, they have to go for the full deco, interestingly enough. 2 of them with armor as well. It's going to be cool to see if maybe they can actually get some long-distance frags from this, and it will pay off. HVM going to go on his lonesome, just going for the more of the flank aggressive push towards the B bomb site. Everyone else converging towards mid, but he opens it up. The Deagles have been reigning supreme tonight. HVM gets the 1 frag onto Robin Nasty. Liam has one of his own. Then comes Caspian on towards Smooya. All of a sudden, it's just left on Prophet and YNC. I mean, this is just a bloodbath.
And that is just ridiculous stuff coming out from nerdRage right there. 3 kills that honestly shouldn't have really happened. That should be kills that ORGLess have the advantages in. But when you just get single bullet headshotted, it's not going to be enough to just have a better weapon at that point. That's going to be Cynic coming on in as well with that Deagle. 4 players on the side of nerdRage, and each of them with a Deagle kill. But now they've grabbed themselves some rifles. They're going to be running away with this on YNC. He's heading over towards this B site. I don't know if he's really going to be able to make anything happen, though, with just this ump in a 1 versus 4. To be honest, maybe he wants to just hold on to this weapon.
YNC makes his way towards that B bomb site, but we'll have better judgment to probably just back off at this point. He's going to hold the angle, see if they push into him, hopefully get those exit frags, but that's the best case scenario. nerdRage, they look dominant into that one. That was absolutely fantastic. I mean, if you can do that when you've got those pistols, they need to be doing that when they have these rifles in their hands. They should be shutting this game down if they can have these really great plays like that coming out.
Well, we'll see if they can keep it up in this game or whether that round was just a fluke, but they've certainly got some cash to work with now. Just about every player sitting pretty on 6,000 at the start of this round, and they're going to be able to make that work for themselves. A couple of AKs coming on through. Most of these players holding on. Samuel, Cynic, and HVM all holding on to their weapons from the last round there. But they're going to be more than happy to do that. However, ORGLess, they've got a couple of AWPs to use this time.
Yeah, they have that double AWP setup actually coming out, as you've mentioned. YNC, meanwhile, still left with just an upgraded pistol. That's going to be the CZ in his sweaty palms, but can he find the frags with it? Samuel makes his aggression towards that A bomb site, trying to sniff it out a little bit, find an opener, but it won't work out. Smooya, I mean, that's the wallbang headshot coming out. I want to see if Harry actually managed to get that from his position. I mean, that's ridiculous, but a great way to kick it off anyway, as he dispatches one of those players on nerdRage and just leaves 4 of them left standing.
Absolutely. Prophet Mohammed is on the scene here with his M4. See if he can divine the bullets towards his opponent's heads. But I'm not sure that's how divining works, just for future reference. That's actually finding water, but...
Or you're divining rods.
Yeah,
that's true, mate. Unlucky.
Never mind. But it's going to be Prophet Mohammed starting to come into his own right there. Finds one for himself, tags down another to get the assist. It's going to be Robin Nasty finishing off the round in the end, but ORGLess doing a fantastic job there. in that round to get themselves ahead, despite nerdRage, that being a round where they had a lot of bank to work with and invested fairly heavily. ORGLess managed to pull it off, and now we get to see a second full rifle round in a row now as nerdRage going to go for the full rebuy, this time 5 AKs.
AK-47s across the board, as you were saying. Smooya, though, comes in and will shut down one. HVM has been eliminated. What more can Smooya bring to the table as they keep peeking into him? That's the 2K now. Double or nothing turns it into the hat-trick. Smooya is on fire towards mid, proving that it's his domain.
Absolutely. Smooya is not having any mercy in this game. Unfortunately, a little bit overconfident there as he charges down mid and will get punished for it. Smooya no longer just ORGLess, he's also now ORGLess. And it's going to be Liam S and Samuel to finish off this round here for nerdRage.pro. ORGLess still with 3 players though, so advantage to them for sure. But it's going to be down to what nerdRage can do. If they can find these situations where the ORGLess players are singled out, they will be able to make this round happen for themselves.
There's a possibility for the flank here from Robin Nasty. If he can get in the rear and take them down very quickly, it could help them out. Thomas on the site as well, though, as he just rattles off these pot shots from the AK. Will find the first frag, and it just takes a wild YNC to punish Samuel. And ORGLess keep that ball going now. Meanwhile, nerdRage, the economy has started to crumble a little bit. It's not fantastic. They can opt to go for the force if they wanted to, but most likely just going to play this one out safely, ride it through, and then come back in hard fast next round.
Mate, I want to see them just buying deagles.
Yeah.
After that, I think it was round 3 where they were just taking heads left, right, and centre. I want to see that coming out from them again. Samuel is going to be looking to make that miracle round happen once more. But they're up against a pretty stacked lineup here of ORGLess. Robin Nasty going to go down, loses his AWP in fact, and HVM traded for that one, but Samuel actually burns the Prophet Muhammad alive. Some full-on blasphemy going on here in the UK Premiership. That is going to be YNC finishing off the round in the end, though.
Yeah, they're going to be able to clean that one up. Nice damage actually done, though, from nerdRage when they are in these rounds on their ecos. Rounds that you wouldn't imagine too much damage to actually be caused, but they really are ripping through that economy of ORGLess, making it so much harder for them. And the buy does come back out. They actually have an AWP this time as well on Caspian. Let's see if that could be the game changer.
Well, right now, nerdRage certainly need a game changer. 3 rounds down and ORGLess on a bit of a roll. They don't have masses of utility to make things happen with in this round. Which is a bit of a challenge when you're playing on that T side. You've got to try and take control of these sites. It's basically you're going to be relying on those aim battles, relying on finding picks and ending up outnumbering your opponents, because with the lack of utility, it's going to be very difficult to make things happen in terms of set pieces, in terms of those group plays. But they still do have a few grenades to work with, so it's not going to be the end of the world for them. But again, we see this very slow style of play coming out from both teams, just waiting, hoping to get the first pick of the game, just seeing where their opponents are, not wanting to go for anything too crazy. Robin Nasty going to be the first one to go down as Cynic, finishes him off. And now advantage to nerdPro. nerdPro? nerdRage. As ORGLess lose their first player.
Push coming in towards the B-bomb site, though. YNC had to try and find something, but it doesn't work out. Caspian popping his head very quickly. Cynic as well with another frag there on towards the Prophet. So it is just Thomas and Smooya left standing in a 2 versus 5. Most likely just going to go for the save here. You don't really want to try and rush into this. It's going to be a hard task to really achieve too much. Just see if they hunt you and you can find a couple of exit frags. But with the state that nerdRage are in right now, probably just going to opt to just safe exit together, let this round go.
Yeah, can't say I really blame them on that one. They're going to be able to get a nice bit of a crossfire going so they can watch each other's backs. That's actually nearly getting caught out by Thomas there. Did get tagged pretty heavily. But all in all, interesting to see that nerdRage aren't going to be hunting here, ORGLess. They are aware of their financial situation. I think they just want to hold on to the weapons at this point. And they're going to be very happy having held onto all of those rifles and won the round. It means they don't have to go for the rebuy, and they're going to be in a much more comfortable financial situation because of it. And I think they gain more from just holding onto those weapons than they would have gained by punishing the 2 ORGLess players.
Yeah, plus it's the risk you run as well. You go overly aggressive, you try and find those players on ORGLess, you run the risk of having to go full rebuys on your side, and the amount of economy damage you actually take is just horrific. It's not worth the test there. But moving into this one as well, can nerdRage keep this ball rolling now, or is there the possibility for a reset up in the air? YNC just going to be playing close underneath boost here as he pushes up towards that aggressive angle. They do have a lot of mid control on lockdown.
HVM going to be pushing up through the smoke, trying to get a spray, but he's not going to be able to find a target there. They decide to back away once more. And again, this very passive setup from nerdRage. At the starts of these rounds, they want to just hold these angles and make sure that if a firefight does happen early on in the round, that they're going to be the ones getting an advantage off of it. Mohamed throwing out a nice molly there just to cover that boost spot and make sure that nobody can take advantage of that high position. But it looks like the A site is going to be the call here for nerdRage. That's where they're starting to head towards, and if they can find a pick, there's only a single player there right now. Thomas is the only man on the site. We do have Robin Nasty heading over there as well, but it might be a little bit too late as the players are going to slowly but surely start to econ in to this site, and the fight is about to begin. Thomas is the first one to go down to the hands of Samuel here, and Robin Nasty just sitting around on highway. He's got to wait for the rest of his team to arrive, but in fact can't actually finish off that first kill. Cynic punishes him for that unfortunate bit of a miss there. Smooya and YNC as well chiming in. 3 versus 3 now, Jackie.
Yeah, into this 3 versus 3. A heated moment here. Tense as they try and battle their way back in towards the bomb site. Smooya, can he find any frags here? How's this one actually going to go down? As they try and tiptoe their way up. HVM will get that counter pick and a double up as well as he takes down Maestro. And there you have it.
Yeah, that is going to be the round going the way of nerdRage there. So they get another round in the bag and they're starting to even things up. 9th round down, we're moving into round 10 and we'll see if this can be equalized by nerdRage. They certainly should be able to up against this barely buy from ORGLess. They've got a Deagle and armor in the hands of Robin Nasty, but that's about all they've got to talk about.
We have it into this one though. Meanwhile, Robin Nasty on his way round. Just pushing up slowly, seeing if he can find anything right now as he just holds this angle. But it's a slow round. Meanwhile, in T-Spawn, peeks out. Samuel will be able to take down Smooya as he rips his way through him. Prophet Mohammed comes in as well on towards Liam S as he taps through him right there. Looking fairly effective, still going back in for more, just spamming away with that P250. He is eventually going to go down into a 3 versus 4 now. Towards mid as well, Cynic picks off Thomas. What more can he actually achieve? Flashbang is going to go over. Push coming in towards the bomb site now. YNC is here, Deagle in hand, but he can't find anything. Samuel just rips his way through, and this is looking very good for nerdRage. They should be able to equalize the scoreline here. 5 apiece as Robin Nasty is the last man left standing with just a Deagle in his hand.
Absolutely. He's got 8 HP to work with this AK, Robin Nasty that is, but I don't think he's really going to be able to do anything too miraculous here to pull himself back into the game. And it is going to be nerdRage equalizing things here. And that is going to be good news for them. They've pulled themselves back into this game. It was 5-2 at one point. And I thought that nerdRage were starting to get in a little bit of trouble. I thought we were going to start to see similar things to what we've seen in previous games here in the promotions. But nerdRage, they've got a hold of themselves and they're looking to make this a close series.
Aggression coming out in towards T-Spawn, trying to find Robin Nasty and hunt him down. He will get that first frag, but it seems like HVM should get away with his life. Actually goes for the wide peak. Playing with Def, just gambling with the devil, but unfortunately will be able to get away in the eyes of Robin Nasty, so couldn't quite get the frag. Both teams now equalized at 5 rounds apiece. 1 AWP either side as well. Smooya is going to be the man trying to do damage for the CT side of ORGLess. Let's see what he can actually bring to the table here. Goes for that early pick towards mid, if anyone is going to be peeking into him. Meanwhile, Caspian as well. This is going to be waiting towards the B-bomb site.
Well, we're pretty much as even as we have been this game so far now. 5-5, just about even in weaponry as well. And a good amount of utility for both of these sides. And I'm curious to see what nerdRage do here to continue this kind of win streak that they've been on over these last few rounds. They've been doing a fantastic job to catch up to ORGLess. but they've got to make sure not to get predictable here. They can't just repeat the same things over and over, and this time it looks like they're going towards an A play. A B play, sorry. We've seen them over towards A multiple times. And now it's time to switch up the pace and switch up where they're going to go for this one. Thomas actually going to get burnt alive by Samuel. That's the second molly kill he's had this game. And now that should open up this B site. Unfortunately, the bomb carrier not actually anywhere near at this rate. Needs to get over there and plant the bomb as soon as possible. And here we go. They are going to be able to kick this fight off. Full blind on Prophet Muhammad there as Smooya getting on into the site, trying to hit people with that rifle, but he's not quite going to be able to find his targets.
Yeah, hoping to find these frags if possible as they slowly make their ascent in towards the site. Smooya sniffing out, but it seems like the call has been made to actually just back off and let this one slide. No reason to just slam their way in and get overwhelmed. So they are just backing off. Samuel will come in with 2 frags. Robin Nasty unfortunately caught off guard there as well and will go down. And it just rides on Prophet. He will find that one frag on towards HVM, but this is looking so good for nerdRage right now. Maybe I was being a little bit overzealous when I said ORGLess should be able to win this one very carefully, as it seems that nerdRage are actually bringing their A game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be nerdRage, just 2 players remaining at the end of that round, but they have now taken the lead. So fantastic job by them to get themselves into that correct situation. And now ORGLess are the ones that are on the back foot. They're the ones that are going for an eco once more. Scout coming into the hands of Smooya. And we'll see if he can pull off any crazy headshots with that sniper rifle. See if he can make anything happen. It's YNC that goes down to start the round. Robin Nasty with a particularly nasty deagle shot there onto HVM.
Yeah, looking good so far. Prophet Muhammad here as well as he just waits towards main. Everyone has to push past him. He could go absolutely huge if he bides his time and plays this correctly. Goes for the elevated angle up on top of the boost, just hammering down with the deagle. But unfortunately, no frags will come his way just yet. Gets one on towards Samuel just before he was bested by Caspian. So it is into a 3 versus 3. The bomb site towards A is under attack. Smooya has a scout in his hand, has the angle, but couldn't quite land the tag. Liam S will take down Robin Nasty as well. Smooya still trying to hold back the site, but things are looking hard.
Yeah, they certainly are, and you know that sniper can be an incredible thing, but when it's only the scout instead of the AWP, suddenly it becomes just that little bit less powerful. You got to look for those headshots, and sometimes it's just too tall of a task. ORGLess with 2 rifles to work with. Is it going to be enough to retake this site? Doesn't look like it, as they both just get mown down by these nerdRage players. Caspian and Cynic both chiming in to finish that round off, and nerdRage, they found themselves with a significant advantage here. Just 3 rounds left of the half. And ORGLess, they're starting to trail behind just a little bit.
Yeah, this is looking fantastic for nerdRage. I mean, just really, really well played from across the board from everyone. They're just doing the work. Samuel as well, 13 frags on the board right now. Caspian with that AWP in hand. We haven't seen anything too crazy from him, but he's been coming out consistently now and then. Smooya, he's been out for quite flamboyant plays. This time around, it does pay off. Thomas comes in with one with the AWP as he takes down Liam S. And here on towards Caspian. Looking to see something a little bit now to try and claw it back for his side with that AWP in hand. But look at the positioning of Smooya as he's been able to push all the way up in towards that area of main. TK comes out, just smashes his way through both of them, and they do pick that one up. I mean, yeah, fantastic play there, just catching him off guard with that over-aggression.
Well, speaking of over-aggression, ORGLess with a triple AWP setup right now. Picking one up at the end of the last round. I'm not sure if that was just miscommunication, not knowing that they already had 2. But, you know, I mean, if it works, it works. We'll have to wait and see. That triple sniper can be devastating if you can pull it off. But, you know, if they can get up close and personal, sometimes you're just going to find yourself in really tricky situations using those 3 snipers. But we go. As the bomb is over towards this A site, Caspian about to peek that door open, but Smooya more than happy to punish him. Puts one right between the eyes and leaves Liam S to scurry away.
Yeah, nerdRage disgruntled and confused at this point as well, as they have just been punished there as they went for that pick on towards the A bomb site, unfortunate for them. Regrouping now going to go towards B as well. They know there's an AWP stack towards A, but are they aware there's one on B? Now they are, as Robin Nasty flicks round, takes down Cynic. Not only is there one though, they've doubled it up, there's two as well. So Thomas has that other AWP in his hands, and he's going to prove that to them now as he pops out, says hello, takes down HVM, bounces back in for more action with his 5-7 as well, spams an awful lot of damage off, doesn't quite get the frag just yet, but Robin Nasty will take down the MS, and there's YNC for the final frag as he takes down Samuel, 7-7 apiece.
Yeah, fantastic stuff here, and we have a game on our hands, boys and girls. 7-7 is the score, and we'll see who's going to be able to get an edge moving into the second half. It looks like it should be ORGLess, just judging on the amount of money they've invested into this round comparatively to their opponents. Caspian and Samuel both with just those upgraded pistols. But we've already seen that nerdRage is more than capable of making a round happen with just pistols alone. And now they've got some AKs in some of their players' hands. Nice little peek onto Thomas there from LeMS. I like that angle. Doesn't actually do too much damage, but at least getting that tag and just kind of forcing Thomas back from that squeaky position.
That's a filthy cat angle. That's nice. It's cheeky. And the push coming in towards the A bomb site now. Let's see what they can actually bring to the table here as they start to bombard their way up. They're getting ready to stampede out. And let's see if they can actually achieve this. Smooya in that elevated angle. HVM with the first frags takes down Thomas. There's Smooya coming into play. Profit with not one but two frags already. Wants the hat trick. And he's going to claim it as he takes down LeMS. And it all rides on Caspian. Left there with just a deagle in hand. Will cause some damage as he takes down YNC. But there's a response from Robin Nasty. The revenge frag comes out. And 8-7 is going to be the scoreline with ORGLess in the lead.
And there we have it. 8-7 indeed. We're going to move into the second half of the game. We'll see whether swapping sides is going to make a big impact on this scoreline. So far, it's been neck and neck across this game. ORGLess took a lead to begin with. Then nerdRage came back into it, but they're kind of evened up once more. And we'll see whether having nerdRage on that CT side and ORGLess on the attack is going to make a major difference in this game moving on forwards, or whether it's just going to be neck and neck the entire time here.
Yeah, I mean, it's been close as well, and that's the thing. It's like, it's really down to the wire in a lot of the ways it's been going. It seems more so, it's been ORGLess going for overconfident plays a lot of the time as well, when nerdRage are able to shut them down, and it's stuff you wouldn't really expect, so interesting. You never know, obviously, as well on their T side, you are inherently more aggressive, so it's a little bit more forgiving if you sort of go for that play style, so you never know. Yeah. But nerdRage as well, they were looking fairly crisp with these pistols, so it's worrying. You get into this when they've got USPs in their hands in this first pistol round. If they're playing like that, you're going to be receiving just mad damage.
Yeah, and you've got to bear in mind as well, like a perfect example of what you're talking about there with the kind of overconfidence almost. When Smooya had that sick play in mid with the AWP, he got a 3K for himself. At that point, he decided to just bounce along up mid and just immediately punished for that. And it's like,
you've got to know when
you've done a fantastic job. Quit while you're ahead instead of just going ridiculously aggressive with no support.
It's like gambling, Joe. When the fun stops, stop.
Well, I don't think he thought the fun had stopped, to be honest, mate. The fun only stopped when he actually got punished. And I think at that point he did stop. He stopped dead in his tracks, quite literally. But here we go. Robin Nasty finds one from behind onto HVM, but it's going to be Smooya trying to answer. Can't quite connect the shots, though, at this rate. It is going to be Robin Nasty finishing off a couple more. Hat-trick for him in the pistol, and ORGLess get themselves off to a flying start.
Yeah, nice way to kick off, obviously, in that pistol round. I mean, it's a shame, because I assumed nerdRage actually would do an awful lot of damage there. They looked incredibly crisp. Every round they've had to force up and go into a pistol wire, they've just been landing 6 shots. But this time around, it didn't really work out for them. It is going to be ORGLess that just overwhelmed them, more of that sort of brute force pack mentality when they just bombarded their way onto the bomb site. Nice peek from Thomas as well, as you just try and take the fight towards mid early on. If they're going for an aggressive angle, you can catch them off guard if they're trying to set up and haven't already done so. HBM will fire back as he eliminates Smooya, but Robin Nasty luckily was still on the scene, and Thomas doubles it up right now.
Oh well, LeMS is going to be able to find one with the Desert Eagle, but Thomas again finishing off yet another play. He's on 3 kills this round already, and now they're heading on to this B side. Thomas is going to be the one getting the plant. I feel like almost guaranteeing himself an MVP at this point, but Samuel is going to want to contest that. Tries to get the 1 versus 3, but Thomas not having any of it, and gets a 4th kill as well as a bomb plant. Pretty much single-handedly winning that round for his team right there.
Yeah, really crisp round across the board. Thomas, as you were saying, just dealing the damage towards mid and then kept that pain train rolling. So ORGLess, they're looking good now on their T-half. I thought this is where we might see them start to get a little bit more, you know, there's some lack on the leash. They're allowed to explore a little bit more, take those aggressive plays. But you never know, obviously, these rounds are all off the back of that pistol. So once we get into the full rifles, that's going to spin the true story. Looking good still, though, as they get down to a 3 versus 3 here. Definitely a health advantage, and their arsenal is a whole lot better than what nerdRage has to offer here. So this round should be shut down fairly quickly.
Well, it's going to be Cynic and Caspian, the last two defenders remaining here. They're both on the wrong side of the map, though, because the bomb is going down on that B site, and I think they're slowly but surely becoming aware of that. And Cynic has actually found himself an AK to work with, so that is good news for them. And they're going to be able to group up and work together to try and make something happen. I won't be surprised if Cynic just holds on to the AK, to be honest, though, rather than trying to make anything happen specifically. You know, you got Caspian only having a USP. He might as well try and find a fight and hope for a headshot, but Cynic might have just been found out here as Robin Nasty pushing on through. The headshot isn't going to connect, and Robin Nasty is more than happy to finish him off. Caspian has found a MAC-10 to work with, and he might be able to punish, but Robin Nasty just single-handedly goes on a hunt and finishes off both of those players.
Yeah, takes him down, looking good now. nerdRage, it's getting shaky. This needs to be it. This has to be the resurgence. You need to bounce back into it now. Come back with a switchback and really teach ORGLess a lesson. You have the utility, you've got the weapons, you know you can do it. They had the natural skill set from what we had seen prior to this, but it has to be now or never.
Caspian as well, running with a glass cannon up this time. They know that it's now or never, and they're fully playing that playstyle with that. Curious to see what Caspian is going to be able to pull out of the bag to make this round happen for his team. Going to be hanging out over towards truck there. Just trying to find his way into this round. He's looking for the pick over towards Squeaky. If someone peeks here, maybe he'll find that opening shot, but the smoke is going to ruin his day. He has to back off, and Samuel is going to be left here on the site waiting for this push to happen. The bomb's still over towards mid, though.
Yeah, just left on its own, just stranded there, and Cynic coming in with that frag on towards Profit as well. This is looking shaky for ORGLess. They're just getting toyed with right now. Samuel, another frag on towards Thomas, looking healthy as they batter down the onslaught coming out from the ORGLess side. They can regroup and grab the bomb though, but it's a 2 versus 5 situation. They boost Muya up on top of boost here, so we can go that information towards mid. Unfortunately, all he receives for his trouble is a couple of bullets fired out of the barrel of Cynic.
Yeah, and you know, that's such a painful situation, because YNC is like, you know, come on, mate, I'll boost you. We'll get some information. We'll get some position on this map, and we'll get maybe a bit of an advantage to work with. But the second he's up there, his teammate is just obliterated, and that's going to be HVM finishing the round off, happy to put a bullet in the brain of his opponent. And now 11-8 is going to be the score here. ORGLess, unfortunately, unable to make that round happen for themselves, and this could be the opportunity nerdRage were looking for to claw themselves back into this game. Full rifle buy here, and a force coming out from ORGLess. Smooya, in fact, AFK for a bit here.
Yeah, Smooya just taking it easy right now before he gets back into the action. But, nerdRage, you get a nice round there. You have to try and link it together, though. We can't see them making mistakes where they just allow it to slip away and it all amounts to nothing at the end of the day. So it's just a matter of time to wait and see, though. But Thomas towards mid, he's been an animal, just completely savage with the frags he gets to open these rounds. Takes down Cynic once again. Caspian here with the AWP in close range combat. Can't quite find the frags. He is struggling to land the shots, and he gets absolutely destroyed by Thomas. I mean, what an apple crumble on display.
Absolutely, YNC is going to drop as well as Liam S is single-handedly holding this site right now. Thomas goes in, but he gets his head taken clean off as well. 5-7 in hand. Thomas is going to be dropped. There we go, Smooya trying to get a couple of shots through. And does actually find one with the Desert Eagle in the end. He found one with a explosive grenade as well. But Mohammed is here, and he's got some divine intervention to rain down with that sniper. It's going to be another one for ORGLess. So unfortunately for nerdRage, after finally winning that rifle, the economy is going to be blasted away once more. And this is looking like an eco, if ever I saw one.
I was trying to remember that quote from Pulp Fiction, this like Ezekiel 21:42, and the Lord will rain down with fiery vengeance, but I couldn't remember it, so you let me down, Joe. You should have known.
How did I let you
should have known
down
it.
for
You
you
should have just said
forgetting
it.
it?
See?
Do you want to know something really depressing about me?
Go on, mate.
I've never seen Pulp Fiction, mate.
Alright, yeah, this is over. Get out. Just leave. Smooya, though, he is making everybody on the side of nerdRage leave the server. They have been swiftly exited from the back door, and Liam S will be the final one to get taken down by Thomas.
They've found themselves some nice weapons to work with as well, if they didn't already have them, that is. And Robin Nasty going to be able to happily go for that rebuy of all of his equipment. Throwing an AK by one of his teammates there. And this is honestly looking scary right now for nerdRage. This is one of those rounds that they absolutely have to win. If they lose this rifle, they're going to be looking at match point at this rate. But Caspian starting things off just right for his team. HVM as well, going to be holding that angle in mid to make sure that his team's AWP is not going to be alone. But it doesn't matter because this team from ORGLess is doing some serious work. HVM evens things up and YNC only just survives the fight. But all in all, it's 3 versus 2 now in favor of ORGLess.
Just HVM and Liam S. Spread so thin as well. Really quite far away from each other. Luckily, they will find that frag. They clear garbage and they take down Robin Nasty to back into a 2 versus 2. This situation is essentially equal. 2 players, very low HP. 2 on 100% profit. He's in a fantastic spot though and has that AWP. But can he find the frags? Misses the opener and receives a tag as well. That's not a great way to start it. And it needs to try and get better from this. HVM gets taken down by YNC as they start to make their push on towards the bomb site. Will find the frag eventually on towards Liam S, but still needs one more to close it out up against HVM and will do it with a headshot. Takes him down.
ORGLess stepping up right now. This had been such a close game when we were in the first half, but nerdRage, since halftime, have only managed to find themselves a single round. ORGLess are running away with this story. Full eco once more coming out from the defenders, and ORGLess with everything they could have ever dreamed of. Just YNC, the only one without full grenades. They can do whatever they want this round. Thomas somehow getting a crab walk kill, headshot there with the AK. Well, all in all, there's not a lot that nerdRage should be able to do about this one. Smooya has gone down though, so maybe they can make something happen out of this round, at least pull something out of the ashes of what has been this second half for them.
The ashes of Allah.
Have you been playing a lot of WoW recently then?
Yeah.
I thought you might have. My mate actually got Ashes of Allah drop the other day.
God damn.
Very jealous.
The dream. Much like the frag that's coming out from YNC right now takes down Samwell. More like Sunwell.
Hey!
Wow, banner.
Anyone that doesn't know WoW is just like, what are they talking about? But that's another kill going the way of ORGLess. And to be quite honest, when you're outnumbered like this, nerdRage right now, they're going to be feeling like they're fighting up against a Legion.
Are we going to see a raid wipe here from nerdRage? They're getting ORGLess on 1%. Are they going to get the world first, Joe?
There's only one way to find out. HVM, the last boss between them and a 15th round, but it's not going to be the case. YNC activating his burn phase abilities, getting those executes down. And he gets match point for himself. 1 round away now from taking this map and moving to 1-0 in this series.
Caspian there equipping his legendary drop that he just got as well from that boss fight. He's going to be whipping out the AWP. Let's see what he can bring to the table here if they can find these frags. And this could very well be the end times though, Joe. This could be that final round. As you've said, if ORGLess are able to snap this one up, Cash will be going their way. And we will be heading our way into map 2. But that's still on the line. There's still potential for nerdRage, but it's getting harder by the second. HVM obliterated. Liam S down and out. Robin Nasty somehow is able to best Cynic as well in Mortal Kombat up close and personal. It's ridiculous. Caspian struggling to find these frags. And he gets taken down by Smooya, and it's all on Samwell himself.
Certainly is, but honestly, some of these players feeling like old gods themselves. I'm talking about Prophet Muhammad, of course, right there. But all in all, it is going to be ORGLess taking that map 16-8. The same score we saw in the first map of today. ORGLess going to be getting the advantage over nerdRage.pro there. And now we're going to be jumping into a second map. And we'll see whether nerdRage are actually going to be able to pull themselves together a little bit there. Because, you know, the first half was so close. And we're saying, is this going to change at halftime? Is it going to change when they swap sides? It absolutely did.
because that's the thing, right? It was crazy because it was like nerdRage looked really good. It was like, okay, we're seeing a lot of the signs. This could be consistent.
Yep.
But in the back of my mind, I was like, all right, the thing is, the only rounds we're seeing ORGLess lose are rounds where they're overextending, going very flamboyant. So once they